Hello to all the Rover lovers who watch my videos. Thank you so much for supporting my Beatrix videos. It's just kept the motivation going to make these videos, because at first I wasn't getting many views. But you know, at the end of the day, I bought this car not for the views, not for the content, but the fact that I actually wanted one of these, and I've wanted one for a long time, and I managed to get one not not far from me, which needed a little bit of work. You know, these things happen. And you've got to understand that cars this age are going to need a vast amount of work if the maintenance has been neglected for a few years. And this car was looked after, but it's needed a lot of jobs. And we have got to 90% of it has been done. The only few things that I'm going to obviously have possibly advisories in the MOT are train arm bushes and the outer CV boots, which I'm very aware about. They're not got any holes in, they're just cracked, the CV boots, and the train arm bushes are just deteriorated. So I know what the score is with them. It's the rest of the MOT that I'm hoping it will just pass. This is the last episode I'm going to do before the MOT, because I've done way more things than what I needed to get the car through an MOT, but I kind of wanted it to be presented with all its bits on, including the headlining, not bits and pieces missing. It kind of makes it a little bit more presentable for the MOTs. I mean, does it affect the old result? Well, you know, it might make a difference to the MOT tester's point of view, particularly if it's nice and clean and tidy. And it is down to MOT tester discretion. And I've had a few MOT testers who've been a bit picky, and few that have been absolutely fine. And it actually varies depending on how clean the car is, believe it or not. It does make a difference. I know it shouldn't do, because effectively if something is deteriorated, it's still deteriorated even though you clean it, or the rest of the car's clean. But I've known some real discrepancies in their standpoints when it comes to particularly advisories. Anyway, I have got a brand new door seal from MG Rover, X-Part is it? I think it's X-Part. Where I've got quite a few of my bits. This actually feels like rubber instead of some hard thing. I mean, all the other door seals are a little bit on the hard side, but I'm going to put some silicone on all the door seals to prevent them sticking, and that's half the issue with the handles breaking, especially at this time of the year where the handles are fragile. But today I'm going to stick this seal on, and I'm just going to clean up the passenger side wheel arch. Now I have got some clips. I have got some proper clips. It's been butchered a little bit, but you know something? I found it difficult to get another one. And to be fair, I'm not spending 25 quid on something that's got a few little bits cut out of it. And overall, it's okay. It's just, you know, the garage before has obviously drilled loads of self-tapping. So there's loads of holes near to where the actual clips go in. But at the end of the day, I've got all new clips, so it will go back in as it should. I am going to do some silver paint. I've got some leftover MBB Starlight Silver, which I will go over with the wheel arch and stone chip like I've done on all other areas of the car. And I am going to show you a little bit of what I've been doing at the back of the car. I'm going to show that to you now so that you get a picture of just how much painting has been going on. Not a great deal, but the effects are quite neat, put it that way. I wish this weather would make its mind up whether it's been sunny or not, but it's not held in. See what I mean? Like someone's just drilled all these. I mean, that's probably original. There's a few that aren't. And for some reason this bit's been cut out, so it sort of kind of doesn't sit as flush to this side. But look at all the leaves that get in there. Yep. Yeah, I might have to go over that area as well, because that's where it went on the other side. Just a little bit of corrosion. I'm going to take the bottom bolt back out of there. It's just down there where my hand is. It wasn't a nut, it was another blimming screw. See, the nut is supposed to go through that bit there, but someone's drilled that in. Oh, just idiot. So I'm going to find a nut that will actually thread into that that piece there. I think there should have been somewhere for it to go though. I'm not sure now. I have to consult the other side. But yeah, I'm going to make the most of that. That side. So literally I'm just gonna get some cardboard and I'm just gonna go over all these bits in some zinc primer to start off with. We've got to do a bit of zinc before we start, and then we'll go over some various areas, and I will stone chip all of this. And the first stage I always take is just put some white spirit on this cloth and just clean it all back as good as you can, really. Just make sure that the surfaces are nice and clean, or any thinners will do. All the areas that you know you're going to paint or accidentally paint, just go over it. And there as well. Looking really nice and clean. There we go. Lovely. Might have to go down there as well, but I think we're pretty happy just to cover the majority of these areas as best. Go with the wishbone as well. Good enough, isn't it? I've just whipped that out the way, the ABS wire, just so it's not anywhere near this. And then we can pop this on. Big cardboard there. Look at that! I actually ripped it in exactly the right place for it to slot in. Right. Now, can take a bit of time to really get the thing going. And take any excess paint off if I have to. There we go. As I say, I can go over with white spirit and just remove any excess paint from the hoses or anything I really don't want it on. Just get on this arm. That's it. I mean, this arm is pretty good as it is, to be honest. Bit on the subframe as well. Lovely. Just reach in there. There we go. Lovely. Just a bit there. We'll do a second coat, but it's coming on nicer. Just ended up painting the drive shaft as well, which is usual. But I just managed to get it around there. Lovely. few bit of patches to take care of, and I'm just going to go over with the white spirit and just take off the excess, and then we can spray some of this silver. I'm going to leave this colour because, to be honest with you, it looks okay as it is. Just remember that actually I did paint this one on the other side, so gonna have to go. This isn't exactly a light coat, but the idea being, just don't get it on the brakes. Be handy. There we go. Right, I'll do one more coat and it's time for the silver. Right, bit of silver. I love the way this spray pattern works. It's really accurate. Just a light coat. Another thing I want to point out to you, I mean, look at that spring. It's just completely untouched. It's actually got the original white paint on the other side. It's not silver paint, by the way. It's not oversprayed. That is white paint from the factory. That's 18 years old and there's not a flick of rust on it. Unbelievable. This is why, guys, when I started these videos, I said, oh, I'm not going to go about spray painting it and making it look nice. It's just going to be one of those do the minimum sort of rebuilds. I think we can safely say that is well and truly plan out the window. Because of how nice this car is, this is what I'm doing. I'm not being funny. This is nicer than the Focus Mark 1. I've never been in a position where I could actually, I mean, the Focus is black, so naturally I can get away with black underseal and black wax oil, but this is paint. This isn't underseal. It's going to be rust proofed. I'm either going to use the Lano Guard or the Dynax stuff, the clear Dynax. It has to be clear because I want to see this paint, and I think it's absolutely worth it. It's just solid. Got to go over that scab. Done. Finished product. Bit of lacquer in places. I've just got to do a bit of cleaning up just on the excess, but all in there nice and clean. All on there, especially around here. This here is the rot spot. They go here where basically these two bungs are. There's a bit of rust under there, but I'm going to treat that. Now, as you can see, I've also done the brake pipes. Why not have them in silver? Because since I've got the overspray on them, it's difficult to clean them. So I've gone all the way down the car, all the way down that chassis rail to the left of the brake pipes as you're looking at it. I mean, look at it. This is just stunning. All underneath a dirty, unloved car. Whew, that was tight. Yeah, just reckon. Oh. It always hurts your thumbs when it finally goes and your thumbs get stabbed by this. God's sake. There we go. Right, I've got that backing. That's supposed to be split 50-50. So this side, this bit on this side, and then that bit curls underneath so that no dirt can get in. Now, ideally, I don't know why there's a hole down there, but I've got it lined up sort of. So we've got the bolts sort of in. I've put some new bolts, by the way. I had these spare from my Focus days and they look far better and they screw in. So there's one there, 3, 4, 5. And then somehow it's supposed to, we've got a clip there that's supposed to go there, but I can't see how it goes there. One that goes there, one that goes up there. So I'm going to see if I can pop. And I've got one screw there, and I've got some clips here. So see if we can pop these in. I'm gonna have to do this off camera because everything is a bit, it tends to shift around a little bit, these arch liners, when you mess about with them. Right, this is weird because where you've got the holes here, presumably for these new clips I've got, like the other side, well, where's the hole supposed to be? Don't tell me that this is original from the factory, because this is weird. None of these, there's no clip, there's no hole behind that. There's no hole behind that. I don't get it. So the only way you can mount this arch liner is via screws and those little holes. How's it originally mounted? Because the other side has got all the holes for it. This is weird. So I'm gonna have to just screw it in. That is really weird. Okay, so I've reused 2 of them bolts. I put reused that one, new. That's an old one that I've painted because it kind of sits here. This is the slip they made. They also did this as well. I'm not so sure why they did that. All looking good. Wheel back on. Right, wheel back on, lowered down. 100% I'm going to get new caps. But the truth is, I need to get the wheels refurbed. The tyres will need changing in preferably the next 12 months, but the wheels are going to have to be refurbed as well because they're not great. I mean, this is one of the better ones. And I'll get new caps with the sticker that's actually there. Right, next job. Good riddance. Hello, you. Right, we're going to put that on in the same way. Make sure it's nice and clean. Oh, you know, when I opened that packet just now, the smell of fresh rubber, it's like nothing else. That was really strong, that odour. Really strong rubber smell. Not usually do I have that sort of sense when you open rubber products, but right, I'll lock this on in the same way. Just get it lined up at the bottom there, and then have a look to see where you are there, because sometimes you can be a bit short on this end and then too much on that side, so you kind of get it, you got to get it shifted and make sure it sits nicely here, and then use the a gentle hammer or plastic hammer like I've got to just hammer it into place. Starting to look good, isn't it? You will find it will kind of fight you because it's been bent in a circle shape for, well, this was packaged in 2012 according to Expart, the actual sticker on the actual product, but it will bend slightly, so you really got to try and manipulate it. If you can't, I might use my heat gun just to soften it up, but it just needs a bit of a batten into place. There you go, it did actually click in. It just needs a little bit of bashing in by the door. That door will make sure that that is pressed nicely whenever it's shut. I'm quite happy with that. There's a tiny bit of gap at the bottom, but that gap, there's a little gap there, but I'm quite satisfied. It might stretch over time, so I might have to readjust it, but that's it. That is literally the last broken thing in this interior. It is now all complete, and I'm glad the sun is shining today, so it's not gone. It's not going to be dull for you to see. I've got a sticker for this area here. I'm going to cover this up with one of my channel stickers. I've had a few made up to the right dimensions, I will say that, but it's all looking really nice now. Yeah, in my handiwork. Actually, I've got to clean those clips because they still look a bit dirty, but that is now one heck of a nice interior, and it smells much better. It smells of products, it doesn't smell of mold, and I know that it is at the moment dry. That's not to say it might start leaking in another place. I know what these cars are like. I know what cars are like this age. That is wicked. And relax. I just thought I would come in and just sample my hard work for 2 seconds. I've been running around this car since I bought it in October, and it has taken me a long time. Now, this video may be going out a few weeks after I made it. I'm a bit slow with the videos at the moment. I've got work on the Mark 1 Focus that's taking a bit of time as well. But this car is now ready for the MOT. Everything has been fixed that could potentially fail. We've ran the car a few times. This car now needs to be on the road. It needs to be driven. And there's a few beauty things that I'm going to do. Obviously, the car needs a full polish. I've clay barred it, so I've took it back to square one, and we've discovered a few little areas to look at and be careful of. But it needs a good polish, a good wax, a good clear rust treatment. Probably Dynax I'm going to go for, but Lano-Guard's an option. They both use lanolin, which is the product that you want. I'm ditching wax oil. I am not going to use it on the Focus going forwards, and I'm going to be using it on this to see how easy it is to apply. The good thing is with the one thing I've been advised by quite a few people is don't bother with Lano-Guard, because Lano-Guard is only for cars that are not exactly prepped for it. It's actually one of those products that can go on really easily, but it needs to be topped up, whereas Dynax needs better preparation. Well, as you can see, I've not just prepared it, I've gone a bit beyond that, which is just, that's me. So the next time you see this car, it will be on a drive to the MOT station, which will be an exciting day, because I suspect it's going to be a work day. Oh, blimmin' hell, cut my head again. Every time I catch my head on some bolt, or in this case, I think I caught it on one of the studs on the axle. So yeah, it will be an interesting drive, a very nervous drive, but it'll be on a work day, because my MOT tester only works in the middle of the week, so that'll be interesting as well. So it'll be a cold start in the morning and we'll get it out. So yeah, thanks for watching all these videos, and there's still going to be quite a few videos coming up for this car. Once we've got that ticket, hopefully we've still got long-term jobs like the CV outer boots and the train arm bushes, which will be a couple of interesting jobs that quite a few people have put off. Apparently, I think the train arm bushes at the rear is probably the only real Achilles heel of this suspension. The bushes are very long-lived. They very rarely go wrong. A couple of times you've got the front wishbone, the top front arms on the wishbones, they can get knocked out sometimes, but the rear suspension is kind of tried and tested, and it's very old school. It's not like Rover 75s. Then they can have their bushes knocked out quite a lot, from what I've been told, which is why I like the 45, because the 25 for me, I'd have one, but I think I'd be really disappointed, because I've had cars, this is the second car, well actually the third car I've owned with independent suspension. I've not actually owned a car with basically a torsion beam rear end, where it's not independent whatsoever. I definitely think I would be disappointed in that respect, but I'd have one tomorrow to see what they're like. But I quite like cars with independent suspension. As I say, from this age, it was quite a novelty. And in today's age of cheap cars, torsion beam seems to have developed quite a lot, and manufacturers have actually got torsion beam to handle very similarly to independent suspension, particularly suspension from this era. It's very comparable, but it's still not quite the same. You don't have the same level of control. Anyway, that's enough talk for today. I will leave you be. Take care, guys. I will see you very soon on the drive to the MOT centre, hopefully.